Hello YouTube, how's it going? It says here, and in today's video I'm going to briefly show you how to change the boot cover on a Nissan 350z. As you can tell on mine, it's absolutely destroyed, and it happens to a lot of 350z's. And the one I'm going to use in this replacement is something I bought off of eBay. I like it a lot. It has really good quality and it's real leather, so it's not going to rip like the ones that come with the car. I also bought this with orange stitching because it matches the seats on my car, and I'll go ahead and put a link to this in the description below, as they come in many different colors. And what I also like is that they already have the holes cut so that it will fit perfectly on your car and you don't need to do any unnecessary work to have it fit perfectly. All you're going to need to have this fixed is a flathead screwdriver, as well as a Phillips head screwdriver, scissors, a tie strap, and pliers if you have the original shifter knob on your 350Z. Okay, so the first thing you're going to have to do is with your hand, place your hand inside the cover, and you're going to see that if you do this as you go inside, you're going to be able to pull this entire assembly off the car. And as you can tell, it comes off. And at this point, if you have an aftermarket shifter knob, go ahead and remove it from the car. And if you have the original shifter, you're going to have to lift this up. And with pliers, you're going to have to either grab this section right here, or maybe something quite above it, and you're going to have to unscrew it, but you're going to have to be holding on to this with your pliers so that it can actually screw off. And once you have the shifter knob removed, you're going to go ahead and remove this white ribbon that is connected. And if you have a newer model, you'll also have to remove the connector that goes with the emergency lights button. If you're having problems trying to remove the white ribbon cable, you can use your flathead in this step and to simply place it against the connection and just try to pry it open, and that will allow it to come off. Once you have the assembly with the shifter boot removed, I'd recommend that you go ahead and take it out of the car and take it somewhere where you could work on it better. But once you have that taken off, as I said previously, you're going to find yourself with some Phillips head screws that need to be removed. As you can tell right here, you got some bolts that need to come off. Once you have the screws off, you'll be able to take this part off that has the bad shifter knob. And if you haven't already, you should already take off this clip that is installed on this. And in order to take it off is that you're going to have to cut with your scissors a tie strap that is wrapped around it. And once it's cut off, you should be able to pull it off of these tabs. Mine was already messed up, so it was loose, but if yours is still on, that's all you're going to have to do to get this piece off. Once you have this piece removed, go ahead and get ready to remove this shifter cover from the part. Now, you're going to find yourself with a lot of these clips. As you can tell, these clips are going to have to come off because it separates the two. And the easy way to do this is to not push into the clip with your finger, which is the worst way to do it, but to go ahead and use your flathead screwdriver. And what you're going to have to do, as you can see in the middle, between the leather and the assembly, you just go ahead and put your screwdriver in and you just pry it open. And then once you get it to pry open, go ahead and do that all the way around, and that will allow you to get the cover off. Here's the cover, and you can tell that I'm just going to be able to pull it and it comes off. Now that everything is separated, it also makes it a really good time to go ahead and clean all of this and remove any of that gunk that was previously hard to get to. Once everything is removed, go ahead and get your nail shifter cover and simply place the holes exactly where they match on this trim piece. And as you're going to tell, there's one section that has multiple, and that's exactly how you're going to know on which side are you supposed to place it. So I'm going to go ahead and do this. And one of the hardest parts of this installation is sliding these clips between these tabs. It takes a while to do it and you have to press really hard sometimes. Once all of it is on, just go ahead and go over it twice just to make sure that it's all the way inside and it might not come off later in the future. Everything looks good, and once you're done with that, go ahead and place this trim piece back on top of it. Now make sure that you also put this in the right way, because if you accidentally have it flipped over, you're going to go ahead and actually install it upside down. So when you place this on top, make sure these clips are facing down. Right here, make sure they're facing down. You go over it, make sure all of it is in. Once the trim piece is installed, go ahead and install the last part, which is this. And quite frankly, is actually the hardest part, and the easiest way I have found to do this is to go ahead and put the shifter boot cover inside out and to install it like that. I'll show you. So you go ahead and get it inside out, get all of these tabs out, and make sure that the curved part of this piece is facing outwards, so it's facing towards the bottom of this, and you're gonna have to pull these tabs and fit the leather strap through. And if it's very hard for you, you could go ahead and use those pliers and maybe be able to pull it into where it's supposed to be, or maybe even something like this just to get the job done. As you can tell, this was pretty hard to do, and I ended up using the scissors to cut some of the edges just to make it easier to go through. And once you have them all through, go ahead and pull them and make sure that they're on pretty well. Pull them up and make sure that it's all the way up. And once you think it's at a really good level, this is when you go ahead and use your tie strap. It's a little crazy to imagine that these cars came out of the factory with tie straps, but you're going to use a tie strap and you're just going to secure it to make sure that it won't come off in the future. Okay, once you're done with that, you can go ahead and flip this back inside, back. And you're officially done. At this point, you can go ahead and simply put the screws back on the assembly piece, but from then on, you're good to go. Well, there you go. The new boot cover is installed and this thing is looking a lot better. I hope you enjoy this video, and more than anything, I hope it helped you out in your situation. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, go ahead and subscribe. And if you need any extra help, just leave a comment below and I'll be more than happy to help you. And yes, thank you once again for watching, and I hope you have a good one.